I will always love you. Ooh.
Why? Why? Seriously. That song came on like on the 90s channel on XM on Saturday, and I'm like, oh, for the love of all that's holy, I gotta turn this off.
Man, I can hit those high notes though.
Oh man. It was like, no, you gotta do it right though. You gotta do it right. Yeah. Ready? You ready to hear a good Whitney Houston impression?
Oh, jeez.
Ready? No, I don't want to do it. All right.
No,
first off, before we actually begin, I need to go ahead and make an announcement under the category of when news breaks, we fix it. Yesterday, during yesterday's program, I kind of did an impromptu reading of what I thought was a news article about Star Wars filming in Valparaiso, Indiana. I found out that was a fake site. I was so mad. I screwed up, and I'm sorry. So this is a retraction. There you go. I'm sorry.
Touche. You know what? It takes a big man to admit when he is wrong, and that's what you just saw here, ladies and gentlemen. See, unlike Chris, I'll never admit I'm wrong because I'm never wrong.
See, now you're throwing the fat jokes out. Really? Seriously? You're going to start with the fat jokes? Come on.
There's no other way.
If I want stuff, I'll go to work.
Dying. All right.
Let's do it.
I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors, Fantastic Memories Travel and its Mouse Master Travel Group. The Mouse Master Travel Group focuses on those Disney destination vacations, and the Mouse Master agents would love to take care of the stressful parts of your vacation planning so you can focus on the fun. You can check them out at mousemastertravel.com. MickeyMonthly.com brings you a monthly surprise box of Disney goodies direct from Disney parks. Each month, MickeyMonthly.com curates the perfect custom box for your family and has options including Disney trading pins, Main Street snacks, and of course, authentic Disney park merchandise. Packages start at only $7. Cure your Disney withdrawal today by heading over to MickeyMonthly.com and use our special promo code RADIO35, RADIO35, to save 35% off your first box. And now, Streaming the Magic proudly presents Behind the Ears Podcast. Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for tuning into another episode of Behind the Ears Podcast. I am Uncle Danny. Alongside of me tonight is Mr. Chris. Mr. Chris, how are you?
All I have to say is that today was the Tuesday of Mondays, or this is the Monday of Tuesdays, being that yesterday was a holiday for most of us, and I woke up this morning thinking, hey, it's Tuesday, but it still feels like a Monday.
But the only good thing about a sluggish day like this, especially on that shortened 4-day week for a large majority of us, is we are talking Pandora.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you haven't already, please head over to BehindTheEarsPodcast.net. And we had one of our fantastic writers, Alexandria, was down there for the opening. She is a Disney AP holder, and she is also, like I said, one of our fantastic writers, and she was able to get the scoop of everything that went on that day. So she wrote a fantastic blog post today. So if you guys would like to head on over there to read it, I would highly recommend it. But if you haven't read it yet, and maybe you haven't heard anywhere else, and you want the news about Pandora, well, you have come to the right place. So Chris, what would you like to start with on Pandora?
Well, I was thinking about this earlier today because there was so much stuff to cover, and I tried to read as much as I can during certain breaks in the day, and I tried to absorb a lot of it. A lot of people were posting some awesome pictures, both day and night. A lot more of the daytime shots than nighttime shots. I think people are just so enthralled with it. Most of the photographers haven't really tried to hit it up yet, mainly because of the crowds too. I'm sure that makes a difference. And let's hit up on just the overall first impressions of Pandora. And I gotta say that just from what I saw, I heard people describing it as it really is like you are in a whole different world. And for those of you who are DVC members, in this, I'll say month, this season's Disney Files magazine, there's a great write-up of Pandora and some of the things that they did as well. So if you haven't gotten your Disney Files yet, you'll probably get it very soon. And boy, oh boy, you want to take a look at that as well. But everybody I've been hearing has been saying, hey, it's been great. I've not heard anybody say it sucked. There may be some differences in opinions of this, that, and the other. I'm betting it's probably because of a lot of the crowds, obviously some insane crowds. But the good news is I've also heard that the crowds are, I don't want to say lightening up, but they are starting to return to what I would expect to be a good heavy normal for what is going to be, Pandora. Pandora's normal, I should say. And the funny part about it is at like 10 o'clock Eastern time, someone posted a picture of Tomorrowland over at the Magic Kingdom, and it was practically empty, only for about an hour later for people saying Magic Kingdom is like jam-packed. So a very definite different day during the week, post-holiday. It's going to be kind of interesting to see what it's going to be like. So we'll have to see how it goes.
Okay. So you had said something about you've seen a lot more people posting pictures of the daytime than at nighttime, right?
That's the only thing I've seen so far. Your mileage may vary.
I have seen a lot of nighttime photography done there. And I will tell you this. I have not been there. I will not be there for another 12 days.
Lucky.
Something like that, or 10 days. Whatever it is. It's right around the corner. I've talked to several people that are down there still and who were there for the opening weekend. Mm-hmm. I also talked at length last night to Alexandria about things going on. And from what I've seen and from the knowledge that I have, do not believe a lot of the pictures you are seeing.
What do you mean?
If you see some of these nighttime pictures, they almost make it seem like it is extremely bright, these plants. And the colors are very, very vibrant and bright and, in your face and like, it's not that at all.
Almost like as in the movie, very, very colorful, very luminescent.
And it's luminesque. I would go with luminesque. It's not that. They're beautiful. They're somewhat bright, but they're a lot of Photoshop. Yes, Kayla is dead on. And it's not a bad thing that they're Photoshopped.
It's either Photoshop or it's long exposure. One of the two.
The way I've seen, and I've been dabbling for a good 6 months now in the whole Photoshop realm, they enhance the exposure. I'll be completely honest. If you guys go and take a look at the main profile picture of the article today, that picture was taken on a cloudy, foggy day. You would never know it. I was able to adjust the exposure to make it look like it was a bright, sunny day, and everything was great and dandy with it. That does not take away the fact that you should be doing Pandora at night. That is by far, tell you the truth, I talked in length yesterday with Alexandria about this, that I'm almost looking more forward to the nighttime extra magic hours than dealing with everything else.
I am too, actually. I mean, to be very honest, when I ever finally get out there, I'm hoping they still have the extra magic hours for the evening as well as the morning like they're doing now. And if that's the case, I'm opening it and I'm closing it. It's as simple as that. I'll be the last person walking out of there.
That's a long day.
Bring it on, man. Bring it on. I'll be there until my memory card fills up. That's the only thing I got to say.
Very, very true. Lisa brings something up, and I wasn't necessarily going to bring it up, but I will.
Okay.
She says, while we're all enjoying the podcast, please keep everyone at the Orlando International Airport in your thoughts right now. There's a standoff at the Orlando International Airport. Police say the suspect has been contained but not in custody.
Yeah.
I also did share on several different sites about what's going on over there. But Ed, one of our fantastic listeners, and Tatiana also have been keeping me informed on what's going on. I mean, obviously they're not at the airport, but they have a little bit easier of local news since they are down there. There is a lot of mixed reviews coming out of what's going on. Originally, there was reports that there was a gun fired inside over by the rental cars in the parking lot. Now then they were saying he was in custody. Then they were saying he was contained, but he wasn't in custody. There's reports that he was arrested. There's a lot of craziness going on right now, and there's a high amount of police presence going on at the Orlando International Airport right now. And as you know, I have the news pulled up right now as we're doing the show. If anything breaks and I can confirm it, I will gladly bring it up. Please keep everybody in mind. You know, hopefully everything is safe. You know, like Ed said, it's only in the car rental return. No shots were fired. We're going to move along with that. Our prayers are with anything that's going on with there right now. And as anything pops up, we will surely bring it up to you. But back to the Pandora. You really would open and close that part?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, now, keep in mind, would I be in there the entire time? Probably not. But, you know, the fact of the matter is that I would like to see it in the morning. I'd like to do the attractions first thing. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, I really do want to enjoy everything there is to enjoy of Pandora. I really want to enjoy the restaurants. I really want to, you know, take a look what they have available at the gift shop. I mean, it's an alien type of place. Good. I see what I did there. I really want to enjoy it, but then I do want to enjoy Rivers of Light, which, you know, I got a taste of it when you streamed it live when you were on your vacation a couple months ago. And I said, I got to do that. So I'm really hoping to do that and then go right back over there and just really, you know, grab myself a beverage and just walk around. I really look forward to doing some nighttime photography with both my kids, because I know they both love it, especially my daughter and I. My daughter and I have, you know, this thing that we do with, we call it trash can photography. It's not photography of trash cans. It's, you know, we actually mount a little mini tripod on top of trash cans in order to get some really cool long exposure shots. But I've got my cool Amazon branded tripod with me this time. And I've got my Canon with me. And I've got a couple different lenses. I'm going to be loaded for whatever I can shoot. That didn't sound right. So, given what you just said, that's not a good way of saying it. But anyway.
So Sandy and Nicole both kind of said the same thing. Sandy said she got a kick out of the sparkles at Epcot sidewalk near Spaceship Earth, so I'm sure I will enjoy in Pandora at night. And it kind of goes hand in hand with what Nicole had said, and she said, I want to see – oh, Jesus, mouse. I want to see the walkway in Pandora. Is it black light or really glowing? It is a lot of black lighting, as from what we are being reported from. And this is not me going on other people's sites and reading their articles. This is everything that we're talking about. Me and Chris haven't experienced, yes. Chris will be later in the year, you know, later in the summer. I will be, you know, 2 weeks away. But, you know, this is all coming from somebody that works very closely with this show and who happened to be there. She was very disappointed with the glowing sidewalk. You know, the way they made it seem is as you step in certain areas will come to life and glow with you, or it was going to be a luminescent where you could see where you're going. One of her major complaints was that it almost looked like a rave and someone just took a glow stick, cracked it open, and then just started throwing it everywhere. She said it's not very well lit, and they said when they came off a Flight of Passage, you know how a lot of girls, they design their own Mickey ears, and some, you know, they had light up ones. Sure. When they got off, you know, when they went on the ride, they turned the lights off of them. When they got off, it was so dark that they had to turn their lights on so they can all stay in a group together. And that has, you know, and she brought up a very interesting point. It was something that was going through my mind was, is this going to become an issue if, God forbid, somebody falls? Because she said the signs aren't even backlit, or they're not even glow in the dark. And obviously, this was a major concern with building a land as immersive as this, especially one that's supposed to be immersive at night, because you have to take care of the animals. And I feel like that has been I've heard it from her, and I've read in certain places, and this seems to be the major downfall people are saying that's happening at night is it's very dark over there.
Now, I understand the concept of darkly lit, minimally lit areas. I mean, if you think about it, World Showcase has a minimal amount of nighttime lighting, especially around the time of illuminations. You have parts of Magic Kingdom that could actually get quite dark, especially over near Frontierland.
Yes.
So, I mean, there are certain parts where I can understand where it would be rather difficult to watch, or watch where you're walking, I should say. And having things that are black light lit are, that's fun and all, but that's not really lighting the way in front of you, especially if there's a lot of people. The light's going to basically reflect off of whatever it can reflect off on your clothing or shoes or something like that, rather than the ground. Now, I can't wait to see it myself. I know you feel the same way. We'll be able to see how it goes. But also, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Disney does make a lot of rolling changes and updates and upgrades when they hear certain pieces of feedback. And I wouldn't doubt it that if over the next few months that there aren't some very subtle changes to come about to help people navigate through Pandora.
Yeah. Hey, in the next year, I would not be surprised if you see them add a ride. We talked about it yesterday on our impromptu Memorial Day show.
I agree. I still think it's going to happen. I saw some other people talking about it earlier today again, and I don't mean to sound like we're repeating the same thing on a couple different shows, but Pandora's not done. I can almost guarantee it. I mean, I don't know anything about what the extra plans are, this, that, and the other. I don't think anybody really does, but my speculation is Pandora is not done. This is not a one-trick pony.
Yeah. But, like I said, we're the type of show that we're not going to pull punches, Listen, we basically started the show, hey, this is cool, but hey, listen, this is some of the downfalls that we've seen. I was trying to vividly take notes while we were going over all the details yesterday between me and Alexandria for the show. And, she said basically from her understanding and her philosophy of how the everything going on, the Navi River ride is very similar to a Frozen attraction, except she said that animatronics are the things that she's never seen in her life before.
Now that ought to be kind of cool.
Yeah, because like how you almost have like the clinking of arms on certain things, or you can tell like the arm will come down, it will meet a certain spot, then it will move over. She's saying it's so fluid that everything just flows and there is no little, kinks to the armor in that aspect. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I think that's kind of cool. It also goes to show you can take something like animatronics and the technology that goes behind it, either, I'll say either, it all started out with hydraulics and now it's turned to other hydraulics and probably other electrical servos and everything else to do that sort of technology. That's got to be really pretty cool to see how it is. Now, being a fan of the movie, I look forward to seeing that, because if it looks as realistic in person as what I've just caught little glimpses of, man, that's going to be a game changer. And I know I really don't use that phrase often and without serious consideration, but that could really be a game changer for the world of animatronics.
Yeah. So plus side is the animatronics are crazy above and beyond what we've ever seen.
Small World.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not making fun of Small World. I'm just saying it's kind of the the baseline for beginning animatronics 101.
And Jess says, who knows how long will be like that. Give it a few months and it might be less fluid. You know what? I can't disagree with you, because it only took a few months till the Yeti stopped working. So that's also another T-shirt that I'm working on, by the way.
Hey,
I got some great T-shirt lineup coming for you guys.
Can you only imagine, though? One thing I'm gonna go on a very small tangent and get right back onto it. Do you think that after the little design mishap with the Yeti not being able to really be repaired properly without ripping apart the mountain, do you think they took something like that into consideration when they designed these attractions over there at Pandora?
Yes.
I mean, I say that with love and respect to Disney, because let's put it this way. No one ever did, speaking as an engineer, no one ever designs anything with the intention of something breaking. Yeah. Especially that's critical like Disney. It's not really a planned obsolescence thing. So obviously someone really, I bet you really felt bad over that little thing. Anyway, I'll go ahead and let that go. Disco Yeti. Yeah, I know it's cool.
Yes, Pamela, we all love the T-shirts. So in one hand, you have this amazing animatronic sequence. You have amazing lighting and visual effects, and you have a nice, tranquil ride. The only thing that I have heard, once again, is the fact that it's a very, very short ride.
When they say short, what do they consider short?
I'm assuming like under a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
No, it can't be that short.
That's what I'm hearing. It's extremely short.
I mean, short. Okay. The reason
I'll time it when I'm there. I'll get a stopwatch on my phone.
Okay. The reason why I say it like that is this. You have Small World, which seems like it always lasts forever. You had Maelstrom. That seemed like it lasted, 3 or 4 minutes at the most. Then you have like Splash Mountain, which, kind of tells a story as you climb upward and over and everything else. And that's actually a relatively long ride if you think about it. And then you have Pirates, which is, decently long too. If it's shorter than any of those, that could be a little bit of a disappointment, but I bet you there's high on the wow factor, which that's fine too,
Yeah. Now, with that being said, she's saying it's still, it's the lesser of the two rides, obviously, but it is something that is you have to hit it. It is something that you should be attending. And I just tried to look up the quick overview of the ride, and nowhere is listed that I was able to see with a quick view how long it was. Let's see. I think River Journey was like 3 to 4 minutes. It was short, though. That was coming from Renee.
I appreciate that, Renee. I mean, it kind of gives a little bit of a sense of, comparison, correlation. Because, I mean, I also think that Kelly River Rapids is a short attraction, but it's not really that short. It's just that there's one big drop and that's about it. So
Darla says that's the Seven Dwarfs mine train of a boat ride.
That's okay. I'll take that correlation. That makes sense.
All right, Ed. So Ed did a little back searching for us, and he said River Journey is only 3.5 minutes long. So I suppose I said 2 to 3 minutes. I was right there. So that was the biggest complaint with that. To touch on the next attraction, which is the Avatar Flight of Passage. Now, here's the thing. There was a lot of heat coming off of Disney for the fact of people that were fluffy or poo size.
Come on, get it right, brother.
Were having trouble with it. And she's saying, no, there was plenty of larger people going on the ride with no problem. What they're saying is if you are very tall or if you have bigger legs in the size of like your calf area, they're having trouble with the machines that are locking on to the calf.
I've heard that too. And also I heard that the compatibility issues with legs and the actual ride itself is not necessarily gauged well in the test chair that they have outside of the ride. That it really only judges like if they could put the backrest against you. There have been reports of some people who have bigger legs that were not able to get locked into place. So, and like what Tricia just said, that it all depends on how your weight is distributed. A very true statement. I've got pretty normal sized legs. Mine's a little bit more in the middle. Let's just face it. But I'm not super tall. I'm 6 feet tall. So, we'll have to see. There's been a lot of chatter about it. I know we have talked about it before, but now more and more people are reporting. Some people, but here's the deal. I find this to be kind of, I don't want to say funny because I don't mean it like that, but you have some people saying, oh, it's not going to be a problem for larger guests. And then you have some people say, 3 of us had to do the walk of shame on Flight of Passage. So it's kind of like everybody's going to be different. But Darla, I guess some people were getting fast passes if they couldn't ride.
Darla, she says she appreciates that, but she's there in 60-day mark to make fast passes. I hate to waste one if I can't make it. Here's the thing: if you use a fast pass and you get all the way up there and you don't, for whatever reason, it doesn't latch onto you and you can't ride that attraction, they're not just going to be like, "Hey, you're out of luck." They're going to give you a fast pass for another ride.
Right, and I'll be
very good at that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be really honest. The first time I did Cyberspace Mountain, I couldn't fit. I was at my largest weight I ever was at that time. And so they gave me a fast pass to something else there at Disney Quest, which was kind of cool. The next time, I knew I was purposely too big for it. So I went ahead and still went and tried to do it. And I got another fast pass. Of course, the third time, they got the thing to latch. And then my daughter and I did a Cyberspace Mountain ride that flipped 7 times. Anyway, so yeah, they're going to take care of you. Don't worry about it. I mean, seriously, don't worry about it. Give it a try.
Samaria, it's hard. It really depends on your legs. That's, it has nothing to do with when I said how tall, because I mean, if you're like 7 foot, you might have a problem with it just because of where it's locking on you. Without knowing who you are, with what you just said on there,
your
maybe
type.
not. Yeah. It's
I mean,
hard to tell.
But you're 5'9", and I'm going to make the assumption you're probably just a little bit taller than my daughter, and you're going to be probably just fine for it.
Yeah, but you never know. We're not going to tell you yes, and then you get down there. I hate to be like, those guys at Behind the Ears podcast told me I could ride it, and now I can't fit on it. We don't need any hate mail. So
we like good mail.
With that being said, let's talk about the ride without giving too much away. Now, granted, once again, we have not ridden it. I unfortunately caved this weekend and watched a video.
Dude, we made a pact. We basically said, no, we're not going to let this spoil it. We're not going to spoil this fun. No way, man. No way. And you go ahead and do it. Fine. That's it. Jeez.
Things happen, man. I got too involved. I couldn't deal with it.
Dude, listen, I told you once, I'll tell you again. If you fall into temptation of watching spoilers, go eat some ice cream. Okay? I've told you that once. I'll tell you, ice cream.
Renee calls it the Flight of Passage is Soarin' on steroids. And honestly, I've heard some amazing things along that nature, because they're comparing it to Soarin', the idea of having a screen there while you're on this machine. But everything that I've heard is you don't see cutaways. You don't see the edge of the screens like you do in Soarin'.
Okay.
You're not in a seat that's in a vehicle that moves. Your designed vehicle that you're sitting on solo moves. So, all right.
Like kind of independently?
It's all independent. Yeah, everybody's moving, and you might all be moving in the same, it's the same ride for everybody, but it's you're like, when that vehicle dips, you're dipping with it. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the whole road that's tilting back on Soarin'. No, when that thing wants to go down, you're going down with it.
Oh my God.
And supposedly it has a lot of the I'm trying not to give things away. All right, anybody who doesn't want to know anything about it, I'm going to say something right now. So just put your fingers in your ears, press the mute button for 2 seconds, okay?
And Daniel will do this when you can come back.
Well, yeah, I'll do this when I'm done. So if anybody would get 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. So when you're on this ride vehicle, it's supposed to be a Banshee. And supposedly the part that's resting like on your thighs and comes up into like your stomach area, it actually feels like it's breathing. And there's vibrations, there's smells, and
I heard that too.
It's very in-depth. So everybody can come back now.
Welcome back. Today we're talking about Casey's Corn Dog Nuggets. Sorry.
It was it's a very immersive ride, and it is basically Soarin' on steroids, and it seems to be even more amazing. But we have people in here. Unity that says it's fine the first time, but gave me a headache afterwards. The second time we rode it, I had to close my eyes for most of it. I think my headache made it worse. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get jolted. You're looking at a somewhat of a giant screen, but they're saying, you're on Soarin', you can still kind of tell you're looking at a screen.
Yeah.
They're
and also, and you know that you're in a seat because nobody else is moving independently of you.
Yeah.
Supposedly, you're all moving like this. Yeah.
Supposedly it is so now Ed's saying it doesn't dip. It makes you feel like you're dipping.
You know what? Even if it doesn't dip and it makes you feel like it, your body reacts in a way that you actually feel like you're dipping. I mean, that's I mean, there's a reason why they most likely have a big time, motion sickness warning. Because you may not move in certain ways, but if that screen, especially in 3D, makes you think that you're moving in a certain way, oh yeah, you're moving in that certain way. Your mind thinks that. That's all it takes, and for some people to, have a incident.
That's when the minute you started talking about it, it's like, oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I don't know. Because I almost had an incident on the Minion ride in Universal. It just... I took the glasses off middle of the ride and I went like this, like a child. I just kept breathing. I was like, no,
I have a story about that one. I'll go ahead and say, but my a certain family member of mine, not a direct family member of mine, but an indirect family member of mine, went on Minion Mayhem and actually jumped out of the ride vehicle because that person was getting motion. They did an emergency stop. It was pretty funny.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a similar feeling to ride Mission Space? I'll let you know.
Let's put it this way. It doesn't spin you. Therefore, art thou. It's not like Mission Space.
Yeah, Kayla, that's what happens when you have those cheap 3D rides they have over there at that other theme park.
Oh no, he didn't! Oh no, he didn't! Do you realize Kayla and I are going to go have coffee sometime over the summer, and the only thing that she's going to do the entire time we have coffee is just rip on you, at me.
Fair enough. Touche.
Oh, fair enough. You're not the one that's going to get it from her. See, she's right there. Shut up, Danny.
Oh man. I'll put that one up there for a minute. I'll let you all bask in that glory of that. Yeah, you do wear glasses on the attraction, so that is something that, take into account if you get headaches from that and things like that. I haven't gotten to that comment, whatever you're laughing at.
Code V. Hey, Jessica, Star Tours. Star Tours didn't make me sick. You know what actually made me sick? Body Wars. Take the motion of Star Tours and add blood to it. Oh yeah, that makes me greed.
Yes, the park that shall not be named.
Yeah.
So, overall, it seemed to be a successful opening. There was some hiccups in the sense of how they did the line structures, and we'll get into that in a minute. But I want to knock on wood. Guess what? They didn't have one breakdown all week, and
cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
And let's refer back to, I'll be writing a blog about this later in the week. How many times Frozen broke down, and that was one ride. You're talking about this one is two rides and a land.
Actually, I think Frozen was more along the lines of how many times did it not break down was easier to count.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I haven't been on the Frozen ride yet. I loved Maelstrom, but it did go down quite often. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, geez, boy, was that crazy, some of the things that were happening over there. But you know what, man? I'll give them this. Frozen at one point hit 400 minutes. What was it? What is it? The new Galaxy ride in Disneyland, Guardians of the Galaxy. What is that called?
Mission Breakout.
Mission Breakout hit 400 minutes. They never hit 400 minutes in Avatar this weekend. Came close.
I mean, seriously. Almost 7 hours to wait for a 2-minute ride.
Yeah, no, I would never.
Wrong answer. Thanks for playing. Think about it this way. People talk about how expensive going to a. Can you imagine getting there, being in line for 400 minutes?
Yeah, no, and I agree with you there, Chris. Jessica wanted to know. So when it said it was temporarily closed, was that just to get people through the line? Yes, it was. What was going on was, okay, so here's the breakdown. When Extra Magic Hours started at 11 o'clock, at one point of the night when the line got to 3 hours, so 9, 10, 11. So at 9 o'clock when that line was at 3 hours, they put the temporary closed on there. Not because the ride went down. It's because they could not accept any more guests, because at 11 o'clock there needs to be that changing of the guard. Basically saying, hey, anybody who's not staying on Disney property needs to get out. So people staying at Disney property get their Extra Magic Hours. So So when that line was at 3 hours, starting at 9 o'clock, they cut people off and they shut down the actual line to it. Now, what happened was the line moved so quickly that around 10:30, they actually started opening it up again for the extra magic hour guests.
Makes
so
sense.
It ended up working out. Yeah. Yeah, Darla, I'm not sure what ride you're talking about. It was down last night, but if that's what you're speaking of, I had not heard. Yeah, no, Brian, I'm positive it was not closed. That's the reason why it said it was closed.
Crowd control.
I have direct contact from several cast members that it was exactly the reason why it was closed. Because that was my question. I was like, "Oh boy, what happened? Why are these things continuously breaking?" So my suggestion is anybody who's going to Disney now through July. Now through July, the park is open from 11 to 1 a.m. every night. Every night, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., it is extra magic hours if you are staying on property. I cannot stress that enough. So if you are a resort guest staying on property and you're visiting Animal Kingdom, you have that 11 to 1 a.m. window. The best information that I have been given so far, and I will test this out while I'm there, because this is information that was coming from Memorial Day weekend. I need to see what it looks like when I get there in 2 weeks. But what I'm hearing is at 11 o'clock, around that 10:45-ish, 10:45, 11 o'clock, whatever ride you want to ride, go wait by it so you can get online for it. Because my original idea was, because I was doing it the way I did in Magic Kingdom was, Magic Kingdom's open until 1. I'll go take pictures. I'll go get a snack. I'll just do my walking around. And then whatever ride that if I want to ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and it's open until 1 a.m., I usually wait till 12:45 because you got to realize Disney lets you online up to 5. Technically, they say up to closing, but it's realistically about 5 to 10 minutes before the park is closing. So usually around that 12:50 a.m. mark, you can go get on Seven Dwarfs and it be a 20-minute wait because the park closes at 1. They don't kick you out at 1. So what my suggestion would be is as soon as you hit that 10:45-ish area, go wait by your ride that you want to ride in Pandora, ride it, then do all the things, then do the shopping after that, or the walking around, the nighttime experience with the pictures and everything. That is my personal opinion.
And I think that's a great idea. I think that if you can do that, if nothing else, you extend your own time in the parks by 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, easily. Yeah,
it does make sense.
I mean, but man, 11 to 1 a.m., super cool, and I appreciate Alexandria for bringing that up because, like I said, my idea was, I'll just walk around. I want to get some great nighttime shots. This is going to be so great. And all of a sudden, she was like, no, you should probably go get on that ride because that line's going to build. And I was like, so true. And it's because what the thing is we are not, a majority of us, no, actually all of us in here, we are not used to a new park. When was the last time we saw a new opening?
You know what? We've seen big new rides like Frozen, but now that I think about it, we've never seen a new land
besides Animal Kingdom.
Yeah,
well, Animal Kingdom was a gate.
Well, the only other thing that we've seen, because Fantasyland was a refurb, and then the circus area was a big refurb. But we've never seen a brand new land within a park. And none of us have seen a new park. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, so we don't really know how to handle that. Our ideas of extra magic hours and jumping on lines, and I guess someone called me a liar, I guess because the extra magic hours only till July 4th. I apologize. I said through July. My apologies. So I'm going to retract my statement. A lot of retractions today. July 4th, you have until the park is the 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. But it's really true because of the fact of we don't know how to do this. We all have our own quirks and plays and how we like to handle those extra magic hours, whether in the morning or at night. This is a whole new ballgame for a lot of us. So it really comes down to how maybe you want to do it differently. I'm going to try it that way, and I'll let you know how I feel it is.
Now, the interesting part is there's already people that are publishing quick guides to Pandora. And to be very honest with you, being that Pandora has been open for not even a half a week, I think it's great that people are publishing those types of how-to guides to hopefully give people an idea. But those things are going to end up having to be changed as things go on, because Pandora is going to morph in the sense of how crowds experience Pandora throughout the summer. And I think people need to understand that. It's going to be a pretty big deal. Being adaptive to your surroundings is going to be your biggest ally. Being mentally prepared for those crowds, huge ally. So,
yeah.
Hey, pack an extra bottle of water, pack some extra snacks. Hey, put Avatar on your phone and watch it while you're in the queue. So
yeah.
Do what you got to do.
Hey, Lori, so you're going to be down there June 8th. Give me a shout if you'd like. I'll be live streaming from the parks for Streaming the Magic and also Behind the Ears podcast. So if you'd like to come hang out, I'm going alone. So people, I need some company. Being all alone in those rides all by
Everybody,
myself.
Please go buy Danny a Dole Whip.
Not only know, I'll buy you a Dole Whip if you want to come hang out with me. That's and Ed said, Ed, I could see Ed with his pinky up being like, I saw a new park open, and I was waiting for him to say Animal Kingdom. He goes, Volcano Bay. This guy, you saw a volcano and some pools. Stop it! You didn't see a new land open. Sorry, Ed knows I'm just joking. Him and Kayla know I'm just messing around here.
That's hilarious.
Ed, perfect. Yeah, man. I was actually going to contact you anyway, so it's good. Yeah, send me a message. No more wait for Maelstroms. There was never a wait for Maelstrom. Let's be honest.
You know what? Now the new ride that usually has no wait whatsoever is like the boat ride in Mexico with the 3 caballeros.
Oh my God, I love it.
It's a cool ride though. Seriously, I like it. It's kind of neat. I like it. Just
So Renee brings up a good point, and that will be the next topic we touch on. Make sure you eat some of the quick services at Pandora. Such amazing food.
Oh, I have a question though.
Yeah.
Is there a decent kids menu?
I will buy your daughter a Mickey Premium ice cream bar, or even better, some corn dog nuggets if she likes it on me. You let me know. Get in contact with us.
No. Danny.
What?
I will buy her Casey's corn dog nuggets through you.
Oh, through me.
Yes, you buy. I'll pay you back, but it's from me. Okay, seriously, the king of the corn dog nugget, right here, man.
Oh, Cindy, that's all Cindy goes, I'm definitely going to be I'm going to find Danny. Some may call it stalking. I will be down there. It is not stalking. I look forward to it. I'm going to go crazy down there.
Yeah, but yeah. I was going to say, it's not stalking if they're expecting it. So yeah. I should
Mary,
say that. I'm not joking about stalking. Trust me. I'm sorry.
Mary wants to know, is it a better experience after dark? I'll let you know in a week. My personal opinion from what I've been able to see and what I've heard, it's a much different experience at night. So I know that's a very vague answer. I'm really, really sorry. It's so hard to tell. So we'll see.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go back to the food. But I was kind of wondering if anybody knew anything about the kids menu. And the reason why I say that is because, my son is a little bit on the pickier side. I'm more adventure-y. I'm more adventurous. So I'm hoping that there's a pretty decent kids menu that's a little bit more less adventurous. Anybody know that?
I'm sure that. I mean, I could pull up a menu. I'm sure. I'm sure they have your typical chicken nuggets and burgers somewhere in that land. Because, well, I mean, even if it's not in Pandora, you can walk right at the main entrance of Pandora, and I believe Pizza Fari's right there.
That's true. Pizza Fari is right there, which, by the way, is not bad pizza.
Stop it. I forgot you're from Chicago. You don't know pizza.
Let's not go there. Let's call it truce before this gets way out of hand. Try the chocolate cake. That sounds like a great idea, Ed. When I go out there, I will
Didn't you say that the cheesecake is supposedly...
Yeah, I heard the cheesecake is supposed to be really super good. That's all I've been seeing are these pictures of these blobs of cheesecake. It looks so good. I was like, oh yeah.
Hey Drew, if you can do us a favor, go over on the Disney community page or even just Facebook message us that question. We'll be able to answer it because that is a bit of a lengthy answer, and we're trying to just stay on topic because we're running pretty good right now, but we don't want to go too long. She heard the beef pods are nasty. I really want to try
See,
them.
I heard the beef pods are really, really good. Talking about the hamburger dumplings almost or something like that they're called. I heard. See, I heard it was actually really pretty good. So, it's one of those things. I don't know, Ed. I don't know what about the challenge about the corn dogs, but I'll just say challenge accepted regardless, man. Contact me on the side, my friend. We'll figure it out. But
man, everybody's nailing my T-shirt ideas tonight.
Yeah, well,
Rich just said, "Just remember, please don't climb the temple." I started making.
I like that one. No, but I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like,
Virginia piped in.
Yeah, she's referring to her brother. And,
Mitchell says, "I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting you off. Kids menu isn't that friendly."
Okay, well, you know what? I'll have to look at it using the mobile.
Look at that comment. They have a hot dog wrapped in dough. What? So it's like a giant pigs in a blanket?
That's not a corn dog, though.
No, she was just saying that sounds good.
Dog, that does actually sound pretty good. It's like if you. Well, you know what? We're just going to have to try that. So it's as simple as that. But that's okay. I mean, the fact of the matter is that no one's going to starve while we're there. It sounds like, and it sounds like we all have to try them. But here's my take. We've talked about food before. Well, no, wait. We talk about food often, and the funny part about it is that Danny doesn't like coral reef. I know I'm going to try it during my next trip. I'll let you know if I like it. Everybody does Disney differently.
Yes.
And we all know that. So different tastes for different folks. We'll have to see. I've heard good things about, all the different things, all different food. But knowing me, I will probably get a sample. Well, that's what we'll probably end up doing in my family. We'll each get a sampling of something, and we each kind of share. So we'll have to see how it goes. And we'll have to work it out and give it a try.
So before I go back to the food thing, Cindy brought up an interesting point. Oh my God, I forgot you can make your own avatar action figure. They scan your face and it comes in a collector box. What? Why want to do this? It's better than some bird for $50 that I'm going to put in my closet and never use again.
It is. I have to do that. If nothing else, it is so going into the Gusman Omniplex. I mean, that is so cool. I like that idea.
Oh,
Chelsea,
man.
we're talking about Pandora. Everything Pandora.
And coral reef.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mitchell said, I got grilled chicken with some rice and veggies for around $12. It was pretty filling and service was quick. That's chicken and rice, man, and some veggies. That's a nice break from burgers.
I mean, that sounds like a really good meal. I mean, to be very honest with you, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Not everybody wants to have a variation on burgers and hot dogs. To have something fresh like that actually sounds really tasty,
Yeah, it was roughly at certain times. I never saw 300 minutes. The longest I saw was 250 minutes, and that is obviously the wait for non-fast time. It takes about $75. That's how much that doll is. That's a little steep.
Wow. Okay, so maybe it's maybe I'll have to rethink that, my friend.
Sandy, hold that question for the end. We will open up questions for random things in just a few minutes here. We're almost done with the Pandora talk. So let's touch on the food. The biggest thing I've heard is use the app if you don't want to wait. And if you're asking what is the app, the only way the app does not work is if you want to pay cash or you want to use a Disney dining plan. Those two things you have to actually go to the restaurant and do. But if you are willing to use a debit card, gift card, credit card, any along those lines, you can go on the My Disney Experience app and you can click on the restaurant and you can pull up the menu, and not only pull up the menu, but you can order and pay for your food. And then when you get to the restaurant, you just click I'm here. Now, I recommend when you're like a minute and a half out to press I'm here, but that's my opinion. Do as you please, because all that does is when you says I'm here, the grill, it gets a message to the grills. They know to cook it, and then they'll send you an alert back and says, hey, come to window number 3 and your food will be ready. You bring in your phone up. Make sure you bring your phone up with you, and you're good to go. I've heard great things. I heard the lines to the restaurants were astronomical. So using the Disney My Experience app made things a little bit easier.
No, that's something I know we're going to try for sure. I definitely knows what something that we will try while we're there. And if it works out as well as people have said it works, I was a little bit of a naysayer, but I'm thinking that it might be something that'll be worthwhile to go out to the rest of the parks as long as Disney. Let's put it this way: if Disney can perfect it in Pandora, then anywhere else should actually be a slam dunk.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, seriously. I mean, Pandora is going to be the test, the stress test for any new technology that they're bringing up, which is really cool if you ask me. I mean, if you don't see a lot of breakdowns on technology within Pandora, it means they've got something nailed on, dead on.
We're seeing a lot of new technology rolling through Disney, though. Not only are you seeing Avatar, come to life with all this animatronics, you're going to see, Star Wars and Toy Story, which I want to talk about Toy Story later in the week because their roller coasters is up. Part of it is up.
Oh, I know. I saw those pictures. I'm like, woohoo, yeah.
So don't be surprised. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Don't be surprised in July at D23 if they turn around and said Toy Story opens in 2018. I would not be shocked at this point. But that's neither here nor there. Back to the animatronics. I mean, you even have that new nighttime show, not the one in Magic Kingdom. The special show that they have over now at MGM that blew everybody away. Have you gotten a chance to watch that show? I wrote a blog about it the other day.
I didn't. Again, I heard about it. I know there were some people streaming little bits and pieces of it. I do want to see it. I'll be really honest. I do want to see it. I want to. But I want to hold off. I don't want spoilers, man. I mean,
yeah, no,
but it's really tough. And I'm not saying that as a joke either. I mean, I really want to experience these things firsthand. Pictures are great and so on and so forth, but I really just want to experience these new shows for the first time. I think to do that will give me the biggest, best impression, I should say, of how I really feel about them, how I really like them, etc. So,
Rihanna, I'll be down there the 10th to the 14th of June. What do you think about Hall of Presidents? I'm going to have to tell you to tune in later this week because that is going to be one of our topics later on this week. Yes, Richard, MGM, very old school.
Got nailed on that one.
Oh, every time. So, with that being said, I think that wraps up we just did almost an hour show
on just Pandora.
So what I'm going to say is we're going to wrap up Pandora. We're not going anywhere. We're going to hang out. This is going to be a little bit longer of a show. We knew it was going to be a little bit longer. If anybody has any just general questions, we'd like to do a little Q&A at the back end of our show just to make sure, because a lot of you guys ask a lot of questions, and I don't want you to feel like we're jumping over them and skipping them on purpose.
Okay, let me throw one thing out. There have been a lot of people that have been asking me specifically, when are you going on your vacation, Chris? I'll be really honest with you. I do not divulge my dates purposely. Okay. I kind of am a little bit of a believer of trying to keep a sense of security. Okay. So I don't necessarily announce to people when I'm actually going. It's just a matter of, I've known enough people that live in my particular area that have had incidents happen with, home invasions while they were gone on vacation because they saw it on social media. So I don't necessarily tell anybody. I hope you understand, but if you have any other questions that you want to message me directly, feel free, and we'll figure things out if things work out that way. So please forgive me for being a little secretive on that. It is, I will tell you this, it is after, I will be there after Danny gets there. So, not at the same time. So we'll just leave it at that.
So let's see. So first question was, when are you going? June 10th to the 14th, once again. Danny, where are you staying for your upcoming trip? Boy, I was a little bummed about this. I almost thought about changing my reservation. I don't want to deal with that bus. All right, here's the thing. I am not snooty at all. I am not made of money. There is no money tree in my backyard. I try never to stay lower than a moderate. There's nothing wrong with the values. It's just I would prefer. People are like, oh, but you only put your head down there at night. No, I still like certain amenities you get at different hotels.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree with that.
Because I've had so many trips this year and I've got so many more planned, I had to bite the bullet on a longer 5-day trip like this one. So I am staying at All Star Sports. I couldn't pass up the deal that they gave me. You know. So another question was they wanted to know what are our favorite restaurants, and I'm assuming they're going to speak of sit down. And I think I know what you're going to go with.
Yeah, you know where I'm going to go with this. Where am I going to go with this?
You're going to go California Grill.
Of course. Thank you so much for knowing me after all these episodes. I love Cali Grill. It is absolutely my favorite restaurant of all property. Just as simple as that.
Rena goes, "You do have a life besides this." No, we don't.
we have jobs that pay the bills, and then we have this. And the funny part is that, you know, Danny and I we have different types of jobs. I mean,
polar opposite.
But I've been in my job almost as long as Danny's been alive. I've been in my industry almost as long as Danny's been alive. I love what I do. You know, it's difficult. It's a difficult job. It's a difficult career path, but I love it. It's been very rewarding. But I also love being a part of this program. And, you know, obviously I've got a kick butt business partner, and it's been an absolute pleasure doing this for everybody. And it's been really cool. So yeah, we have jobs, but then we have this. So,
yeah. So you're going to stick with that one. That is your favorite place.
I can't, you know what? I'll be honest with you. If I go with anything else, I'm just making crap up at that point.
All right. Here's a tough one. I want to go with, you know, a more average Joe place. I'm going to give you two. I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to give you two.
One.
My crazy, if I don't care about money, I'm just going to just go. I'm going to the Yachtsman. Get me a nice.
I haven't been there yet, and I hear it's absolutely fabulous.
It's a great experience.
Okay.
But my all-time favorite, I say it's average Joe, but it's really pretty expensive, is the Hoop-de-Doo review.
Hoop-de-doo, hoop-de-doo. Yeah, actually, we got resis for Hoop-de-Doo for our next trip. That's going to be epic. I love it.
Speaking of Hoop-de, is it hard to get dining reservations for big parties and still enjoy the experience? If you're booking your 180 days out, it really shouldn't be terribly hard. I mean, I say that with a grain of salt because things do sell out quickly for, you know, like Cinderella's Table and things along that nature. I fully enjoy an experience, whether it's just me or with a large group of people. So to me, that doesn't change anything. Chris?
Yeah, I don't think it's too big of a deal. You do have to remain a little bit flexible. You know, when you say large parties, I'm thinking of, you know, parties that are eight or more. It's also really hard to sit together at one table, or, you know, tables that are right in a row of each other, just because of the logistics of having to put tables together and so on and so forth. It's almost like the same thing as if you would go to your local restaurant and trying to get a, you know, big party all together. It takes a little time. It takes a little planning. Just be patient. Do the 180-day thing. Do it right as it open up. I'm going to give you another tip. Don't do it from your phone. Do it from a computer browser. Don't do it from your phone. You will have a better experience in trying to get it. If all else fails, call the dining line. Was it 407 WDW Dine? And call them directly if you have issues or can't get what you want using your computer. That's my tip.
Favorite hotel will give me one from the deluxe, one from the moderate. We won't go value.
Moderate. I would have to say, if I was going to pick it right now, it would have to be French Quarter. Deluxe. Today I'm going to go with Animal Kingdom. I really want to go to Animal Kingdom Lodge again. I'm not doing it during this next trip, but it is one of my favorite deluxe resorts.
Deluxe resorts, I'm going to go Poly, and moderate, I'm going to go, I think everybody kind of knows. Where am I going, Chris?
Oh, moderate. You're going to French Quarter big time. No, I'm sorry. No. Riverside.
About to climb to that screen. John would like to know, when will you guys on your regular broadcast schedule? We are on our normal regular broadcast schedule. You know, we are currently, you know, we just did yesterday as an extra show. We're still doing Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week.
So you're going to get 4 shows this week, so that's pretty awesome.
We are going to nail down a better plan for you guys when Chris takes his, mini mental health vacation, whatever you want to call it, relaxing, feet up on the couch, and I'm down in Disney. I will definitely figure something out. I know Mitchell asked a little bit while ago, have either of you done, I'm paraphrasing this, so I'm sorry because we just got inundated with so many comments. Have you done a Disney cruise? I have not, so I'll let Chris touch on it.
Yes, I have. I've done 4 of them, and they are absolutely fantastic. Seriously, I know they're expensive as all get out, but the nice part about it is that regardless of what category room you're in, you are treated like royalty. It is as simple as that. It is but dollar for dollar. You're spending a lot of dollars, but you're getting a lot of value. And if you take advantage of some of the cool stuff that goes on that Disney Cruise Line puts out, you're going to walk off that cruise thinking, when can I do this again? I'll just say that right now. They have been getting expensive, but boy, they're worth it. Seriously, like way seriously. No said.
Okay. This is the final question. So no more questions after that. I'm sorry. Kevin is the last one. We're going to end on a high note here. Kevin asked 2. So let me get the first one. What happened at the top of the alien head is so many times during Chris's meetings, I just sit there and I'm just like picking at it, and eventually I ripped it off. One of our fantastic listeners, Jessica, she actually found a new one for me online, so I was able to buy it, and it's just sitting in the package. I just haven't gotten around.
You're waiting until you pick that thing all the way apart before you switch into the new one, aren't you?
Yeah, probably. What are our favorite adult beverages inside Disney, and where can he find them?
I'll let you answer this one first.
Mine's a specialty drink. I'm going to give you 2. One's a specialty drink. One is I know is there all year long, and I don't know if the other one is. A 1969 beer over in France. I know that is there all year long. Doesn't matter where you get it from. That's the name of it. It's in 1969. Should come in like a blue bottle if they don't pour it in a glass for you, which they probably will. And my specialty drink is going to be a Grand Marnier orange slush, and that is also from the kiosk outside of France, which is amazing. Just be very careful.
Yeah, you have to be careful with the orange slush because that's my favorite. That's my favorite specialty drink. Is the Grand Marnier orange slush. That is really, really good. I will say that I'm not a big drinker at all. I mean, seriously, I probably have 3 drinks a year, and 2 of them are at Epcot. And I usually have a traditionally, I will go into the Rose and Crown, and I will treat myself to a pint of Stella, just because.
Why not?
But I do Grand Marnier. Also, I will say that the Rose and Crown, they also have this it's like a hard apple beer of sorts, and I can't remember what it's called. My neighbor friend actually got me hooked on it. It's really, really good too. But usually a pint of Stella, a Grand Marnier. But I think this year I may actually try some different ones, but I just try to stay away from the super sweet ones. Even though the Grand Marnier is a little on the sweeter side, Grand Marnier in itself is a sweet liqueur or sweeter liqueur. But still, I like to give it a try.
Yep. So, like we said, we're going to touch on it one more time. The week of June 12th to the 16th. So the shows are the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th. That week is a little bit screwy right now. We will get in touch with everybody and let you guys know within a week, by next week, how we're going to handle that week. But we will be on our regular broadcast the week of the 19th, so don't worry about any of that. Angry Orchard apple ale, I'm assuming that's what you wanted me to
I think you're right, and thank you so much, Trish. I appreciate that.
So with that being said, guys, thank you for another fantastic show. Please head over to behindtheearspodcast.net to read some of the fantastic blogs that we've been putting out in the past week and more to come this week. Also, guys, head over to that site and look over at Alexandria's page. I can't. What? All of a sudden,
It's been a long show, and now you know we have to quit.
Go look at Alexandria's post about Pandora. Covers a lot of the things we touched on. She did a fantastic job of reporting for us. So with that being said, don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. Facebook is Behind the Ears Podcast. Instagram, Behind the Ears Podcast. Twitter is Behind the Ears PC. Any listener questions, comments, concerns, please send them over to behindtheearspodcast@gmail.com. Even if you'd like to be on the show, just send us an email right over there. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all of our older shows that you might have missed live, and that is Behind the Ears Podcast. And lastly, guys, don't forget to go on iTunes. Please, please, please go on iTunes, rate and review the show. And with that being said, guys, I will see you all tomorrow night. I am Uncle Danny, and I am signing out.
And I'm Mr. Chris. Thanks, everybody, for a great show, great interaction, and we really super appreciate you guys tuning in. By all means, while you're rating and reviewing the show, feel free to subscribe over at iTunes, Google Play, or your favorite podcast app, kind of like Podcast Addict for Android. By all means, give that a shot. That way you can get all of the new shows right when they come out. So until we meet again, thank you so much once again for joining us. And by all means, take care.